Hey, health students. Getting into chapter 23, which could prove to be kind of an interesting chapter. The entire unit is interesting, but this particular chapter might end up being somewhat interesting because of the times that we're living in right now, and focuses a lot on um, how disease is spread from person to person. Communicable diseases, meaning from one living organism to another living organism, and it just kind of talks a lot about that kind of stuff throughout the course. We do get a little bit into some previous diseases that took place, like Ebola, SARS, known as the bird flu. But obviously not updated with the information that have come out with coronavirus. So but a lot of this information is going to be really good for us just moving forward, just how to prevent disease from spreading as much as we possibly can, and living in the world that we're living in. I think most of us have learned a lot, of course, the last 2 months here on how to protect ourselves. But chapter 23 focuses on learning about communicable diseases, including how they spread, how to prevent the spread of those diseases, how the body responds to infection. Diseases that are spreading globally are also discussed. I'm going to talk about epidemics, we're going to talk about pandemics, and all of the above. So interesting information, and I'm going to try to, I'm going to plan on it right now. I'm going to plan on doing a lecture video for every lesson in this particular chapter, just because I feel like it's that time where we maybe try to get as much understanding of this as possible because of what we're currently going through. So lesson 1, I'm going to learn about the causes of communicable diseases and how they spread. How the spread can help a person prevent becoming infected with the disease. So we will discuss, like I said, how they spread, but more so how can we protect ourselves. So we'll have a lot in that area as well. Lesson 2, learning about the causes and symptoms of communicable disease, different diseases, and about how to avoid them, and how that can lower a person's chances of catching communicable diseases. So just some typos here in my little thing. That's why I'm stuttering over some of this stuff. But learning about the causes and symptoms of communicable diseases, and about how to avoid them, and how to lower a person's chances of catching a communicable disease. So again, learning more about how to protect ourselves. Learning about the immune system, which I think is going to be really important going forward, and how the immune system actually attacks pathogens. But in the process, and with this particular virus that we've been dealing with here over the course of the last 2 months, really the virus having somewhat of an effect on the body and how sick it gets, but how much the immune system has an effect on how sick people get. It's really interesting when we have learned about how the coronavirus affects people, but what happens when the immune system battles back and it fights against the coronavirus in people's bodies. Not only does it fight against that virus, but it really fights against different areas of the body, and that's where some more damage takes place. The immune system overactivates, and sometimes not only kills the cells that are invading the body, but it starts to kill some of its own cells and causes some serious problems. So we talk about preventative strategies as far as building immunity, talk about how we can strengthen our immune system, how we can maintain a strong immune system, and how we can keep that immune system healthy. Lesson 4, it's going to be learn a little bit about the modern world. The dangerous communicable diseases can spread globally with amazing speed, and that really, again, is such an interesting topic to talk about, because we've learned how travel and how these diseases travel and how quickly they can travel, and why in today's day and age it traveled so quickly, and how fast it traveled because of international travel. And back in between 1917 and 1918, when they dealt with the Spanish flu, they had some serious problems, but that's because of the lack of technology and lack of medical technology. Had they had some of the resources that we have nowadays, with ventilators and different types of PPE that people are dealing with as far as protective equipment for medical workers, I think the Spanish flu would have had way less of an impact, considering that coronavirus is more contagious than the Spanish flu was. But the coronavirus we've dealt with this in a day and age where travel is a lot easier, and how it can travel a heck of a lot quicker than what it may have been able to do back in 1917, 1918. So interesting information. Some of the videos that you're going to watch: how to prevent the flu. That's an optional video. It's just a video that talks about washing your hands, more things that you've already learned about lately, I'm sure. A little lecture, an overview that you're watching right now is one of the videos that you'll watch. We'll do a lecture video for each of the lessons in this chapter: 23.1, 23.2, 23.3, and 23.4. There'll be some optional videos here. Stick to your goals. Life will hit you. And a couple of trailers of some movies that, if you haven't seen them, they're pretty interesting. Outbreak is a movie that was out back in the 90s, and Contagion, a video that I'm sure many people have watched, a movie that many people have watched here lately, about a similar situation, but a little bit different in a movie Hollywood aspect. So just videos that you can watch. The red ones there are the optional videos, and really like you to watch the lecture videos that I give, just because I feel like I'm going to be able to give a little bit more information on some of this stuff now, considering how much I've learned over the course of the last 2 months as well. Check-in assignments: 23.1 notes worksheet, 23.2 quiz. There'll be a journal and discussion at 23.3, and then the 23 vocabulary worksheet. So those will be the assignments that will take place there. Again, hope everybody's doing well, and I hope that this particular chapter is really informational for people moving forward, especially moving on to the summer, and how to protect ourselves from contracting any diseases, and especially coming around to the fall, when we get into starting school again and flu season starts up again. Not only is flu season going to start up again in the fall, but I'm sure there's going to be a rejuvenation of this particular virus that we need to learn even more about how to protect ourselves. So take care and have a good day.